Welcome back to 45 News Utah, Western States Media WSM 45, and Stop the Illness, and Western States Outdoors. Just so everybody knows, we're all together in one inclusive bunch of digital platforms working together side by side. I'm telling you, we're all together. It's just me, pretty much. Anyway, so let's get into this. So the housing market's starting to show cracks in the extraordinary bubble that has been happening. This is insanity on steroids. So now the bubble's kind of like, you know, the wood's too expensive. You can't hardly get a house built. I mean, if you're even looking at a piece of property, it's just a disaster. And so this is what I feel, in my opinion, what's happening. So we have the $300 federal unemployment that was going out every direction. I mean, I just saying 9%, 18%. The numbers were kind of bouncing around. You know, and I truly do believe that there was a lot more people that were actually on the federal unemployment, let alone state unemployment, that was not being mentioned to the general public. And the reason for that is it was a financial boost. It was a debt dollar injection into the economy. So remember, that's trickle up. That's a trickle up economy. So they were shoving the money in, giving people that were making $9, $10 an hour, maybe 12, they're lucky, $300 plus their state unemployment, which eventually works its way up, you know, through mortgages, rents, whatever, you know, just retail sales. By the way, retail sales did drop a little bit in the last report. So we're starting to see the effects of the fiat fake currency and the debt-driven trickle-up economy kind of coming to roost. And that's where people are kind of trying to figure this whole thing out. Well, in Utah and other states, there is the federal unemployment is done. They've mandatorily just decided it's done. We're not going to allow these people to set on unemployment, and we're just going to eliminate federal unemployment altogether on the 27th of this month. So a lot of people are looking at, they have, you know, what, 20 or, you know, I think 20 or 13 days to decide what they're going to do. So they're out looking for jobs. So now the job market has a bunch of people flooding back into it. The frivolous, look at me, I got 6 hats, 20 pairs of shoes, a brand new pair of boots, 4 four-wheelers, has just completely stalled in these states. Now, that's not to mention, though, just putting that in perspective, California is still going to do this through July. And the rent moratorium and mortgage moratorium in some states is continuing until January. So there's still a lot of fake fiat currency out there. We also have the it's a child tax credit that's going to kick in July. So we're going to see another fake fiat dump into the trickle up economy, and we're also going to see a lot of immigrants coming from the southern border that's been wide open since the Biden administration took over, with drugs and just people flowing across the borders. I just heard this, enough people have come across so far to fill one of the large cities in Kansas, which I won't name the names, but like, you get the picture. There's a lot of people coming up. There's a lot of fake fiat currency. It's a lot of resettlement money. It's a lot of free everything, free stuff, free housing, free everything, medical, free everything. So that's the driving force behind I think what's happening with the housing market is that is one of the driving forces, is there's not as much fake fiat currency being shoved into this trickle up economy. So remember, everybody above there gets a little bit of that take of that fake money that's being created out of thin air. So now everybody goes back to work. They tend to not spend as frivolously on stupid stuff. It's not like watching Dumb and Dumber when Harry or Lloyd goes to take their last bit of money and he buys, you know, flippy things and a giant cowboy hat, you know, and beer. Yeah, that's what was going on for the past year and a half. Just saying. So, but that's not including, now if you include the lumber shortage and the tricky subject of what's going on with lumber and steel and everything else, the blame's being thrown on the workers that won't return back to work, which I do understand that completely. Yes, there's a labor shortage. Yes, there's orders not being filled. Yes. On the other hand, there is tariffs that are going into effect, from what I heard, through Canada for wood and lumber. Lumber yards are still full of lumber that's not being shipped. So there's some issues going on here that just predictably could be happening during a insane, massive kleptocracy, debt dollar, frivolous spending in every direction. And that's what happens when that happens. Too much money on the market, just people just spending and buying things with cash. So then we're going to see the effects of all this in the near future. And I do feel that we are facing a market crash that'll make a housing market crash, especially, that's going to make 2008 look like just something that was like a beginner's course into an economic crash. I mean, you're talking, you can't even imagine how bad this place has gotten, especially the Western United States with no jobs. So that's kind of going to come into play. Now, a lot of this teeters on how fast the Biden administration gets their fake fiat currency, debt dollar spending, crush the future of our children and great grandchildren budget through the House and Senate. Which I watched some debate on the House floor about actually bringing a spending bill to be debated on the House floor. That was one of the things that the person was complaining about, that's a representative, I don't know which representative was saying that if you have an idea of a bill, let's see what's in it. Let's see what's really going on in the bill, and let's try to get this thing passed. Everybody's kind of clamoring at the top because they know without a debt dollar dump, without the fake fiat currency and all this fake infrastructure garbage going on, with just backed by debt dollars that nobody can ever afford to pay back, the economy's just going to stall and crash. I mean, people bought houses for $500,000. I mean, they were Silicon Valley workers, and now they're living in Burl or Cedar City, Utah. I mean, come on. Unless you got that kind of that job that's just remote forever, which isn't really going to happen because outsourcing is going to become a very, very big player in a lot of jobs that people have went remotely over. So we have a lot of things facing the housing crash that's coming, and the reason why the housing market's starting to show cracks. And it's only going to take one big crack, and this whole game, the Ponzi scheme, comes crashing down, unless the feds, unless these idiots at the top that decide that they're going to spend $6 bazillion trillions, dodecadillion dollars, to just dump in every direction to make it seem like everybody's yay. If they don't get that, then where would we be? Imagine just if they put the brakes on this entire insanity. Just think about where we would end up. I mean, realistically, we could say, okay, the economy is on life support, now it's going to be able to do its own thing. That's not really the case, because now you've created an entire bubble that is an everything bubble. It's not just a housing bubble. As soon as COVID broke out, they just started just shilling money out every direction. Just money. Oh yeah, let's pass this bill. Let's get this here. Give that to Wall Street. Let's bail out the cruise ship, the airlines need all this. Oh, let's get this over here. Let's give the Americans $1,400. Let's give them a little bit of money. Let's sign this. It was insanity. It was literally watching a bunch of kids in a candy store going berserk. And we put these people in charge, by the way. They were elected by certain states. They decided to elect the insanocrats into the House and the Senate. But not to mention, there's also a lot of people, a lot of Republicans that are on the same boat. They're just all wrapped up in this ball of fake fiat currency theft that's happened. You got to think about that for a minute. What has happened over the past year and a half? The only major thing that stood out was we could do this, vaccination, jabs, and look at all the free money. Look at all the free money. Where did it come from? That's the question. Well, yeah, the housing market's going to crash. It's going to just get worse and worse and worse and worse until it explodes, and the everything bubble's going to crash too, because there's not that fake fiat currency going out to 9 to 18 million people, unless they can get more things done to push more money into the fray that they eventually just suck up anyways. So that's what the $300 per kid, $250 per kid tax credit's going to be. It's going to be the exact same thing. They're finding a fiat currency dump, a debt dollar dump on a population. They don't care. They never have cared about any of us. It's never been about us. They say it's, we gotta save the working. They never cared. They don't. As long as you pay your taxes, they get that money to frivolously blow, and they got a number attached called the Social Security number to your head, and they can say, well, we can borrow against this person. This person has a debt liability of this much because, yeah, that's what they do. So until we decide that we're done with this type of behavior, and the special interest going, hey, I'll give you some money, you get me some money and blah. You know, you got Walmart on the board of Kmart. Wonder what could go wrong with that, right? You got the medical industry just pumping out, you know, everything going every direction. They're the ones that make the most money off everything. They're what, 14% of the GDP? I mean, come on. That's 14% of the entire gross domestic product of the United States is healthcare. I'm just saying, you know, not to be rude. You have to just think about, you know, we're looking at 14% of this entire monstrosity we're calling an economy goes into healthcare. Yeah. And if you do get sick and you get in trouble and your insurance doesn't cover it all, you're going to end up spending, you know, the rest of your whatever you saved on paying back the healthcare system that lobbies the representatives to get all this stuff done for them. Just insanity. Insanity. So that's a commentary for today. Housing market is going to go poof. Along with the everything bubble is going to go poof. Unless the crooks and criminals can get more fake money to just give that to our great-grandchildren, crash the U.S. dollar, just, transit inflation comes floating in. Well, that's transit. Whoa, look at that. That's how much was that for that Whopper? It was like $16. Okay, it's transit. Don't worry about transit. Word soup. It's transitory. Transitory inflation. Yep. So transitory is basically transit. So they're calling it or transients. It's transient inflation. Oh, this world is just so insane. I'm telling you. You know, doing the news, you sit back and you go, hey, you know, where are we going to be in 5 years? I mean, come on. Has anybody ever thought about that, where we're going to be in 5 years? I have to giggle, you know, because I'm going to be like old. And it doesn't matter too much to me because, you know, I'll probably be like complaining in my 50s, going, this sucks, everything's stupid, and just be one of those completely ornery old men that just gets mad. You kids get off my lawn, but I don't have a lawn, so it doesn't make a difference because of the water situation. Imagine that. But I'll be that kind of guy, I think so. By then, you know, I'll be looking at my grandkids going, hey, we left you guys a divided country. We left you a huge, huge debt, and we left you a dollar that's got transitory inflation. It's transitory. Don't worry about it, kids. One day that transitory inflation is just going to move right along. Yeah. I'm just saying. That's insanity. Okay. Yeah, I could keep going on. Yeah, you guys already know about the massive transitory transit inflation coming. Everybody's seeing it. It's no hiding. You can sit back and they can hide it all they want and say, okay, wait, it's happening. I wonder why. Just saying. Let's throw some more debt dollars out there, shall we? To everybody. And our buddies. Of course, that's what they take care of. I should have been in that group. I should have been sitting there going, yes, I'd like to lobby you as a representative. I know you're a lawyer, but just give me a bunch of money. Okay, there you go. And nobody's going to do any checks and balances on all this money, by the way. So whatever they sign into, the electric, let's save the environment, let's call everything infrastructure. Nobody's going to check and see where it all goes. Because when you try to find out what it is, it's like, oh, this is infrastructure. Yeah. Well, bridges and buildings and stuff. 6% of the entire budget's going to be infrastructure. Anyway, so if they do settle on a $1 trillion bill, still $1 trillion, guys. One with a T, trillion dollars. Every bit of that budget needs to be picked apart because I guarantee we're going to be funding transgender studies in Afghanistan next because we failed in Iran or Pakistan. Yeah, so we probably got done with that. And we're going to go, we're going to fix those guys. We're going to give them inclusion in transgender studies. That'll fix them. There'll never be another Taliban. They'll just completely collapse. This insanity continues. Okay. Here we go. Fox News. CNN just completely sucks. I don't even know how anybody even goes to that stupid CNN. Sucks so stupidly. It sucks so bad CNN actually hurts. We should actually have a hurt index on CNN. Just how sucky it is. Well, I could just give you guys a headline. CNN. Trump. QAnon. And Trump and his administration in Russia. Well, parents of former Marines jailed in Russia open to prison swap. Hope for deal at Biden-Putin summit. Nothing. Nobody's going to say anything about Biden being Putin's lapdog. No, nothing. No. Okay, well, it would have been Trump. That'd have been an entire investigation. Would have the Schiff show, Adam Schiff and the Schiff show, just blowing across the airways. Everybody be like, "Oh, we're back in the Schiff show again." Marilyn Manson. They call it the Schiff show instead of the dope show. Okay, Senate GOP chair holds nothing back in talking aim at Biden. Taking. I give up. Look at the size of that. Taking aim. Sorry. Sound like a horse. Horse, Mr. Ed. Okay, so they did ban imports of animals from 200 different countries because of high levels of rabies, or heightened levels of rabies in pets, and dogs and cats are being transported over from other countries to the United States. I do think there's a mysterious parvo going through the United States. It's a different form of parvo, and you'll probably hear about that. If you heard this first on 45 News Utah, a little bit less deadly, I think. I've heard some rumor of that, and I do believe that there is other issues I will not mention, but I think that the virus is contagious to animals. So, I don't know. We could find out more. I'm always a conspiracy theorist on this. Okay. Damage already done. This mom of Tiegan bullying victim says, apology not enough. Okay, so this lady was a bully, cyber bully, and nobody really cares because I went through the worst cyber bullying time of my life when this election started. It was insane. And they didn't check the IP address of all those people who are doing cyberbullying on YouTube and Facebook and everything else, did they? To see if they're China or other countries being considered interfering in the U.S. elections. Just saying. Where were they actually from? Okay. If they're foreign countries, they're foreign operatives. Oh, let's get on this. Tennessee deputy shot and airlifted to hospital. Suspect killed, reports say. Well, let's burn that town down, shall we? Just burn it down. He probably had a gun, and the officers were just going to shoot him because his skin or his eyebrows, something like that. Just burn it down. Let's have just close up the shops. Let's go to the Walgreens and steal some stuff. More people carrying concealed weapons at Disney World report. Wonder why. I don't know. You get beat up for saying the wrong thing. You get attacked saying the wrong thing. Saying your opinion on something or stating a fact could get you completely curb stomped in the public, on television, and people would say you deserved it. What does this remind you of? Am I getting banned for this? Reminds me of what happened in Germany, and what happened in Russia, and what happened in China. So, just saying, if you say the wrong thing, or do the wrong thing, or even just express the wrong thing, or look the wrong way, you could get beat up just for being you. What a country, right? And there's hordes of them right here. I'd like to check the IP addresses. All these people are doing this stuff too. They're commenting on, "Oh, you Americans, you bad, yeah." Well, if they're Chinese, European, anywhere in the United States, are considered, foreign elements that are trying to incite unrest, instability, and division inside the United States to break it apart internally. They're actually that's a terrorist. Using violent threats to change the political landscape. Okay, growing tropical storm in the Atlantic Ocean poses threat across the East Coast. Well, I wish we'd get some of that here, right? By the way, still going to be the hottest on record, breaking records everywhere. In the West, clear to Montana. Good luck, everybody. Just good luck. Just good luck with this. Police suspect admitted to targeting white men in multi-state shooting. He was shooting just people just because their color of their skin. Do I need to say any more? This is the division. This is what gets created when you constantly race bait like CNN. Race bait. You divide everybody up. Come up with different little word soups, little things to make things seem different. To cover your tracks, like what happened to Tom Hanks yesterday or day before. That was a joke. That was a real joke. Let's see. Critical race theory. I don't want to cover. You guys know about that. I don't want to. Not too much going on there. There's probably going to be some other news going on. I have to go to CNN. Oh man, this is so just why why are they even there? Why CNN, the Communist News Network? Hey, that's my opinion. Sorry, I guess I don't have that anymore. Proud Boy. Oh, here we go. All right, let's just take the attention off the entire, everything just going insane. The insanity that's happening on our streets. It's just the insanity with the kleptocracy, the insanity of the home, prices, the unemployment insanity, the federal money dump, the border being wide open, suicides, mass drug epidemic just sweeping the country, worse than ever even now because the border's wide open with all the fentanyl, the other heroin coming up, and all the race baiting and the division side of our country. Economically, we're just basically being trashed. Our dollar's falling. We have transitory or transit inflation. But this, Proud Boys descended into dysfunction after arrest, messages show. This makes up just to say a threat. That would probably be the smallest amoeba, nothing on the planet Earth. That is your threat. That is what they pose. You idiots. Help was requested for D.C. National Guard 12 times during U.S. Capitol riot, Democrats say. Okay. Remember, nobody died at the riots. Had a drug overdose, heart attack, and the officer died of natural causes. Okay? Magically, the Buffalo guy walked through the door unscathed. Just walked right through the door. But you can't bring that up because I could be in a lot of trouble for even saying this, the blatant facts. Former GOP congressman was a part of the crowd outside the U.S. Capitol January 6th. Just like the Pied Piper, led rats through the street. Dance like marionmen, right? Or marionettes swaying to the symphony of destruction. That's all I can say. Marionette, I think it's marionette. I think it's something to do with that time frame, but that's what the January 6th riots basically are. They're basically the Pied Piper, just dancing everybody in the streets. U.S. reaches 600,000 COVID deaths and new dangerous Delta variant is on the rise. Really? Amazingly, they knew about this since October. But the UK had their doors wide open. Come on in, India. Let's just bring this up here. Wonder what it's going to do. Now they have a COVID plus variant, by the way, which is even worse. Well, but we're all getting the jab, right? The jab's going to save us all. Well, close the doors. It's kind of like, if you don't want an intruder in your house, lock your doors. What was the point of leaving the door open to India in the first place? You have to stop the outbreak where it breaks out. Where's the Dustin Hoffman and the military coming in and saying, we got an outbreak in India, we got to stop it now. They need to control that now. Well, instead we're just like, just come on in. We've had a year and a half of this. Bring us a new variant. Come on up. Let's just let it happen. It's just stupidity. It's complete stupidity. Do we not want to offend someone's feelings because they have a new form of coronavirus that could possibly avoid your immune system or possibly avoid a vaccination? Would we want to take the chance? Would just let her right in, just instead of saying, okay, India, you're not allowed anywhere, just stay out. Well, today, India is now petitioning China to let their people through the border too, because China's like, no, you're dumb, don't try it, stupid. You have a deadlier form, it spreads faster. Come on. Hello. Sorry, just have to be optimistic in this. New emails reveal Trump White House gone mad. Right along with the shift show, right? Dog's barking. I don't know what's going on upstairs. Thanks for hanging with me. I guess, I just got to keep going. Okay. Gone Girl actress dies after hit and run. That sucks. I saw that. That's bad. Okay, now we're off to Trump and the January 6th riots in small print compared to this right here. Proud Boys. We'll save the world. Proud Boys. My dogs are dumb, just so you guys know. They bark at everything. Biden's meeting with Putin carries historic echoes. Hello, Biden, Biden, Biden. Are you in there? In there, in there. Just that's my impression. Okay. That Putin Biden, that Russian operative Biden. Oh, he's meeting with Vladimir Putin. How dare he? We got a Russia gate right here. Craziness, guys. Democrat leaders kick off effort to pass Biden agenda along party lines. So they're going to try to pass this agenda, this $6 trillion, let's just destroy the future of America agenda for green energy with Greta and all the others to save the planet. Just save it. This heat wave is being caused by global warming, and Al Gore said it would be dead years ago, but never really happened. But he made billions and billions of dollars off global warming. Planet warmed up so much we're all living in space because it's cold up there. I heard it's like way below freezing. So we had to migrate. All of us are up there. Just Al Gore waited until it was all dead. We only had so long before the planet was going to completely heat up and explode because of carbon emissions. What happened during the last... Everything shut down a year and a half. Skies were completely clear. Guess what? It didn't rain in the West. Just didn't rain all year. It was great. Wonder why. Wonder why. Okay, let's see. We're beginning to see the real Kamala Harris. Yeah, you are. We're starting to see the giggling buffoon that we call the Vice President of the United States. The borderless Kamala. We're starting to see her. I wonder how many months she's been in training just to completely remake the individual known as Kamala Harris so she could actually be worthy of the vice presidency. They're probably out there, oh no, Kamala, not today. No. Get your foot out of your mouth, Kamala. Get your foot out of your mouth. Out of your mouth. That must have been a pretty bad training session. I'd love to be a fly on the wall there, wouldn't you? Well, no. Okay. Let's see. See top Trump DOJ officials 2-word response to election probe request. I can think of 2 words. It involves you. And the first word I'd probably say is a 4-letter one. That's what I'd say to him. Just look over here, guys. Just keep looking over there. Don't pay attention to what they're doing while they're stealing all the money. No one's going to say anything anyways. It's redundant. Let's see. Indiana residents sue governor for ending pandemic unemployment benefits early. Okay. Well, there you go. Let's go toward child tax credits now and the open borders. So good luck with that. They have their dollar dump, their debt dollar dump. You're just not. You're old news, dude. You're old news. Okay. I don't know about that one. Let's see. Yeah. CNN, you make me want to hurl. Mackenzie Scott is giving away another $2.74 billion. Right? What are these kleptocratic, insane, debt dollar rich, pandemic loving idiots doing? New York. Mackenzie Scott, one of the richest women in the world, and her husband Dan Jewett. That's there. It's Jewett. Donated $2.74 billion to organizations that focus on the arts and combating racial discrimination. $2 billion went towards that. Homeless people all over. Children that are, hungry inside the United States. We have a drug epidemic. That $2.74 billion could have went to treatment for our children that are being sacrificed to the drug beasts. They're being sacrificed to the dealers. We have drug addicts all over the place. Every family's pretty much been touched by this epidemic. Why the border's wide open? Why don't you take your $2.74 billion to help the American people instead of race baiting? Race baiting. This is Bill Gates' ex-wife apparently. She's a dirtball, scumbag, dirtball. Okay, the arts and just fighting discrimination has nothing to do with people starving to death on the streets. Homeless people, homeless children, drug addicts. Where would the money be better spent? Where would it be? The arts? So they can go watch somebody dance around the stage. Oh, look at me, I'm playing a 16th century idiot. No, the money should have went towards fixing the problems that are going on inside America. Okay, created by this kleptocracy that they got their money from. They've just robbed the future of America. And everybody says, oh, Mackenzie Scott's the greatest person to ever live. No, she's just one of those. She put it towards her people, not towards fighting hunger in America, not fighting hunger in Somalia, fighting hunger in America. Okay, that's what she should have done. That's the humane thing to do when you got $2.74 billion. You're stupidly ultra rich. There is no laws that break up your monopolies. That the Gates or the Bezos, they've stolen all their money anyways. The antitrust laws have not affected those idiots, and they've continually sopped up bazillions of dollars from the rest of us without competition. Well, if there is competition, you get just shot out because there's no antitrust or monopoly laws to protect any of us. So there's other options except for them and Walmart and whatever. And how much money has Bill and Melinda Gates received from the federal government anyways in donations or tax whatever we've done for those idiots? Bet she feels real proud. The art people will be very happy why people are starving to death, why the homeless are pooping on the streets in San Diego, San Francisco. I mean, she'll be just happy, just elated. And I did the art thing. I'm so proud of myself. Anyway, so yeah, I don't want to get more into this. The perilous journey of Biden and Harris. Oh, CNN. I don't even want to know the reporter that did this. This is one day history will look back upon this time and go, we apparently elected two of the biggest idiots that have ever graced the presidency and the vice presidency. These two morons are completely inept, and all their agenda is either to keep the border open, to keep the drugs flowing and the immigrant population exploding inside the United States, or their agenda is to dump $6 bazillion trillion zillion dollars of fake fiat currency that's actually owned by, that's your debt and your great-grandchildren's debt, because y'all have individual liability, it's called debt liability, onto everybody else. That's what it's about. These two people. And I'm not saving Trump either. I'm saying Trump did a lot of stuff too. Same stuff. So did Reagan. So did Obama. All of them. They all do it. And we just continually, the perilous journey. Yeah, perilous journey, right? Ask Syria, Biden. Ask Libya what their perilous journey was with you as vice president. Just saying, western wildfires spread through California, Arizona as drought furthers extreme fire conditions. Oh, I hate to say it, I really would. There's a religious aspect that I'd kind of say, maybe it's because we just basically, our country is completely gone bonkers, and we've lost our couth. We've lost our belief in God. We've lost our belief in a creator, higher power. The great mystery. I mean, a lot of people, most of the majority, it seems like now have lost that understanding there's a higher power. And we've lost our humility and our humanity. All one has to do is go to a fast food restaurant, watch someone yelling at the waitress trying to serve them, or the way that people drive. I just started going across the intersection, and this guy thought he was so privileged that he could just cut right in front of me as he turned, as I had the right of way. It's just happening everywhere. It's just everywhere. There's so many people that have lost their humility. What happens to a nation that has fallen away from that type of behavior? Well, history will repeat itself. No other way to say it. Just saying. We got kids twerking in the street, getting a standing ovation I seen yesterday. One of the videos on Fox, or the articles. The standing ovation to a child twerking in the street. Where did we ever think this was going to work? Where was this wokeness and this insanity? Where was this division of the people of America? Where was we ever going to think this was going to end up? How is this going to ever get better? The dividing and conquering each other. It's got to stop. The problem is, those of you that watch this, you understand what I'm saying. This is stupid. This is the behavior of people that are trying to internally destroy the United States of America. And they don't care who the victims are, because the victims now are countless victims in this debt theft, COVID theft that's happened. And there will be more victims now that the Delta variant's here, and it's coming because the borders of India were allowed, the people in India were allowed to spread through the world instead of stopping them in their tracks and controlling the actual. You can't tell me these people are that dumb. CSI and all that stuff is just make believe. They couldn't even pull the credits off CSI. They couldn't, on the shows that like Outbreak, they couldn't even wear one shoe of that show. They have no ability to even stop an outbreak. The CDC, the World Health Organization, what are they? They're on purposely doing this stuff. They're purposely doing it. There's no other explanation for it. Or they would have locked down the India variant as soon as it popped its head up. They had locked down the India variant, Delta Plus variant, yesterday. There should be crews on the ground stopping this spread of this virus, this mutation. Okay, just so everybody knows that. You know, we're an upside down world. We're being led like the Pied Pipers, leading us down the street, and everybody's just looking at this stuff going on, going, "Yay!" Just saying. Well, I hope you enjoy the video, you guys. Have a great night. Hopefully get back to you a little later. Hope everything's okay in your life. Just remember, smile, even though this is depressing. You got to remember that the only way to save yourself from this kleptocracy, this insanity of wokeness, and this brave new future that we're all enjoying so much, is to, I just say, find something that gives you rest. And I'm a religious person. I believe it. I'm a Christian, and I do believe that, there is a rest. There is a way to get out of this mentally. But as far as the country's concerned, I don't know. I don't know, guys. It's just the rest of us. Just, if I was America's enemies, I'd be like, we didn't think they was going to go that far. Whoa, they took everything to the extreme. That's like a nuclear bomb blew up in that place. Like we hit the U.S. with like 100 nuclear warheads at once. This whole place is just falling apart, it's crumbling. It's crumbling economically, socially, morally. Just the moral crumbling of the entire society. But let's go gangbang it out. Like I said, race to the bottom. So we'll have to start a new episode on the Race to the Bottom, 45 News Utah. Who is our winner of the weekly Race to the Bottom championship? And something I need to work on. It'd be a great newscast, so we can bring up the representative, or the kleptocrat, or the ultra sickening, filthy, disgustingly rich person that has just made $1 bazillion off of the pandemic and death and despair and lockdowns, and just put them at the top of the race to the bottom. That's what we should do. So you guys have a great night. Hit me up with ideas. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.